Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. I'm so excited to welcome another amazing couple to the Integrity family and another amazing company to join this incredible business that we're building here at Integrity. I am excited to introduce Jorge and Maria Collado, the founders of Idea Insurance Agency, and welcome them to the Integrity family. They're headquartered in Orlando, Florida, and they're helping Americans all across the country. They're in 20 states, mostly in the Southeast, really helping people with their Medicare plans and make sure that they're taken care of with their healthcare needs. And I can't wait for you guys to learn more about this incredible story. Thank you guys so much. Jorge,
Ryan.
Thank you so much. Maria, thank you so much for joining us today. I am so excited. Your agency is truly inspiring. Your story is inspiring. You guys grew up in Dominican Republic. Mm-hmm. You grew up in Puerto Rico.
Correct.
And then you came to America. Let's start off by that, and then we'll talk about how you guys are serving people in such a unique way. Tell us about growing up in Dominican Republic. Let's start with that.
Yeah, so when I was a little boy, my mom and dad, they got divorced, and my mom wanted to pursue the American dream. She wanted something better for us. Life in the Dominican Republic is tough, very limited resources. So she immigrated, and she did it with a life-threatening situation because she actually got a raft and she spent 3 days in the sea.
Wow.
Before she got to Puerto Rico. And once she got there, it took her 7 years to get everything ready to come back to the Dominican Republic and get myself and my older sister.
Wow. So how old were you when this happened?
I was 8 at that moment.
So you were 8 years old, which is ironic. You guys have 3 kids. You got a 24-year-old daughter who's pursuing her American dream in New York right now, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old. So think about that. You were 8 years old. I've got a 9-year-old. So I'm just trying to think about what all that had to take. So she got on a raft. What kind of raft was this?
Oh my God, there was like 50 to 70 people on it. And this thing only had a motor. I mean, it no bathrooms, nothing. It was really tough.
For 3 days at sea.
For 3 days, yeah.
Did everybody survive?
In that particular trip, yes. But I've heard stories where some people don't make it and they don't come back. And so she was fortunate enough to make it. And, it's a blessing that she was able to do that. And now, thanks to that, she gave us that extra opportunity to live a better lifestyle.
Man, so she went to Puerto Rico. So she went from Dominican Republic on a raft for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine the conditions that she had to live through.
Yeah.
And then she ended up 7 years in Dominican Republic. In Puerto Rico, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And then so when she came back to Dominican Republic to get you were 15.
No, right? I was 8 at that time. I was 1 year old.
You were baby. Oh my gosh. So you were 1 when she left.
Yes.
So you hardly knew your mom then by the time she came back.
Yeah.
Who did you stay with when you were little?
My dad. So my dad raised me with an aunt that I loved pretty much, and they taught me values. They taught me how to always do the right thing. We used to play baseball as kids in the Dominican Republic. There's no electricity 24/7. So usually when there's no electricity, kids go outside and they just play, have a fun time back then. So I did have a very nice childhood. I mean, we were very poor, but my dad did the best he could to raise me. And then I was so surprised when my mom came and said, "Hey, we're going to Puerto Rico." I was finally able to get your immigration status so that you can travel with me.
Oh my gosh.
For me, it was a surprise. And then after I talked to my dad on that situation, my dad really encouraged her to really let me go, because he also knew that it was the best for me and my sister at the time, because my dad was the one that had the financial, legality on me. So if he wanted to say no, he could have too. But I'm thankful for my dad as well, because he actually gave permission so that I could travel with her to Puerto Rico and then start a new life there.
Man, so I'm just amazed. So I knew you some of your story, but I didn't know this part of it. So the fact that you were 1 year old, like think about a little baby and thinking about saying like, I want a better life for my family. and being willing to risk your life
Mm-hmm.
to give your family a better life, getting on that raft and going through all of that. I mean, that is amazing from that perspective. Now, your parents immigrated from Dominican Republic as well to Puerto Rico.
We always get to speak about this and his process, right? Because he didn't have a mom. He only met her after he was 8, and then starting a new relationship with your mom as an 8-year-old is a totally different thing. And we speak about this with her too when we go over the stories with her.
Yeah, I tell my mom one day I'm gonna write a book about this.
Yeah, you should.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, look, I'm not kidding. You should definitely write a book about this, especially with the fact that the legacy that one day your grandkids are going to want to know that story about their great grandmother and what she went through to provide them the opportunities that they have. We talk a lot about like the American dream, and I know that there's a lot of things that are going on in this country, but one of the things I'm very proud of, and I believe in more than anything, is this is still the greatest place on earth. We have our challenges, don't get me wrong, but there is no place else that people are lined up trying to get into or risking their lives to try to get into, right? Like they are to America. Why do you think that is? What do you think the appeal was? Think about like when you were a kid, think about like going to America. Tell me about that.
I mean, we don't know. We just, we see the planes on the sky and like, wow, one day will it be possible I can travel in one of those? Because we're stuck. We cannot travel pretty much, and it's so hard to even get a visa in Dominican Republic. So we didn't think at it as, wow, is it a dream for me? We always think it for somebody else. But when we get that opportunity that my mom provided by risking her life, of course, my dad told me, hey, you got to take this. And fast forward, we see all the fruits now.
Yeah.
My mom also instilled into me hard work, integrity, to always do the right thing. So it's not only come here, it's to also work hard and do the right thing. So
I love that.
I love that my mom did that since I was a little boy, because that helped me become who I am today.
So what about your dad? Did he stay in Dominican Republic?
He did. However, after I turned 21, I was able to get his immigrant status approved, and now he lives in the United States as well.
Oh my gosh.
And funny story, he worked hard and turned 65 2 years ago. I got him on the Medicare plan, and now he has his Social Security. He's living comfortably, and now he travels between the U.S. and Dominican Republic.
Oh, that's amazing.
He's living the life because there's no pension checks in DR. It's it's either you work or you don't make money. So now he's having that Social Security check that the U.S. provides and gives him the freedom to travel back and forth. And he has family here and then some families and friends there. It's also a great opportunity for him. So in some way, he also achieved a portion of the American dream.
That is amazing. So your parents, back to your parents, they went to Puerto Rico as well. And then how did you guys end up coming to the U.S.?
So we used to live, it's 4 siblings. I have 4 siblings. Okay. So 2 of the oldest were born in Dominican Republic, right? And then 2 of the smallest, we were born in Puerto Rico. So my parents used to live in Puerto Rico. That was like the first opportunity for them to, be better, done more. And then they decided to come to the U.S. when one of my brothers, he was getting into the teenage years and he was not in the right.
He needed a break.
Yes. So we decided to come to the United States. Yes. And that's when they brought all of us to the United States. I was 14 years old.
Where did you go? Where did y'all first go?
Florida.
Orlando. You went straight to Orlando.
Yes.
How did y'all pick Orlando?
This is what happened. Florida, South Florida, it's the closest state to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So everybody tends to go to the closest place.
Like it.
So in Florida, you get to have the same temperatures, it's the same crowd. So you feel like you're at home at the same time. So that's why everybody stays in Florida.
That's
from the Caribbean.
It's such a great story. I mean, the American dream, I'm amazed by. Now, what you guys do is y'all serve your clients in such a unique way. You because of your heritage, you've been able to serve people in both English and Spanish, and you're serving people, making sure that they get all their benefits or government benefits that they're entitled to, and also get them on Medicare. So tell me about y'all's business that y'all built.
Yeah, so we're fully bilingual. All of our trainings are in English and Spanish. We have probably 75% of our agents are Spanish, and also 75% of the customer base is all Spanish. So we feel that there's a need in the Spanish population where they're not as educated as the other populations. And just the fact that we train the agents on all these services that we provide them, it's not only about explaining plan benefits, it's actually getting access to all of these extra benefits that they don't know. Like when they turn 65, they get the red, blue, and white card, but they don't really know what it is, how to use it, what access.
Yeah, most people don't. When my parents turned 65, they're like, what do we do? I was like, it's a lot. I mean, it's confusing. That's why we believe so much in what we do as a business, and the way we serve people is by helping them understand and navigate that and give them options. For us, we're so passionate making sure that beneficiaries have as much choice as they can possibly have. And it's because they need to make sure they find the right healthcare plan that suits their needs. And without people like yourself, you're not able to do that. And being able to speak in their native tongue is a huge part of what you guys do as well, right?
Yes, and that really helps us because we not only do the plan, we also do a needs analysis to see if they might be eligible for other types of assistance programs that help them with prescriptions or any other assistance that they might need. They are so thankful for those extra services that we provide. So we train our agents on that, and we tell them, hey, we don't get paid on this, but you really need this, and I want to help you get this because you'll be better off by having these extra savings applied to your healthcare coverage. So we do that, and then we train the agents. In turn, we get more referrals, more happy clients, and they're so thankful. There's something about this underserved community that if we help them with something, man, we get so many blessings from them, so many referrals. They'll share our names out, and then now the agent is also experiencing that and growing. So it's like a win-win at our agency, and we're being able to foster that throughout the agents as well.
Yeah, that's an important part of the story. Is I think one of the things, and look, there's been I think people that haven't understood exactly what we do, and with some of the recent rulings and some of the other things that are coming out, I think people don't fundamentally understand how we serve people. And the truth is you don't get paid for most of the things that you're doing. Like, you're truly saying, like, I'll help you with all these other extra benefits that you're not getting paid for, but it's because you've got this heart of service to really go alongside of them and say, look, if we do the right thing, and I believe in this wholeheartedly, if you do the right thing, everything else will take care of itself. It's one of the reasons we named integrity. And so I love that. You also said that your mom really made sure that you had integrity, hard work and integrity at an early age, which makes this even all the sweeter. How do you say integrity in Espanol? ¿Cómo se dice integrity en Español?
Se dice integridad.
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 Integridad. Y inspire? How do you say inspire?
Inspírate.
Inspirate.
Inspírate.
Interesting. That is in spirit, right?
Wow.
Inspire derives from being in spirit, being aligned with one another, right? In so many different ways. I've never heard it in Spanish though.
And it sounds a lot like in spirit.
So say it one more time.
Inspírate.
Inspirate.
Inspírate.
I'm not very good.
Inspírate.
Inspirate. We should do an inspirate in Espanol.
We should. We're a bilingual agency, so we should do a bilingual podcast right now.
Ándale.
Vamos.
That's all I got. I understand you guys do your own podcast. You have an amazing podcast,
we do.
Right? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So we have two different podcasts. We have one, which is for our business. We teach our agents through interviews that we bring successful agents within our agency, sharing with other agents, maybe the new ones, how do they do their business, where they get their customers. We also bring on board carriers, companies, managers, where they share what they're bringing into the market. And we are now bringing a lot of successful business around our area. that have nothing to do with insurance, for them to share their success so we can all get inspired and keep doing more. And then we have our Eleva Fam podcast, which is we elevate family through our story. We tell our story. How do we met, our marriage, how are we raising the kids, decisions that we have to make, being intentional as a parent. So we have 2 different podcasts. One is related to elevate family. And
well, hey, so we've got 5 core values here at Integrity. One of them is family. Let's come back to that. So how do you use your platform to ensure that that core value of family translates into business?
So for us, family is also such an important part of our business. And the way how we do it, first is we like to meet our agents, and we like for them to feel like home when they're at our agency. Yeah. We get very involved in their life, and we just not want to be there for your business. Yeah. We're here as more than that. So we see it more of a ministry type of thing. So while we do business, we're also doing ministry, and that's how we stay together as a family with the agents, and we also get involved our kids and what we're doing and why are we doing it.
I love that.
Yeah, we make sure we know what their goals are and their dreams are, and then every time we talk to them and we're seeing that they're making way, we have those type of conversations. It gets them excited, and I think it brings a lot of value not only to them but also to us, because hey, we're not only here because we need more customers and they're helping us. They're actually changing their lives too, and that's really important.
And when we celebrate, we also, like this last celebration, we had a competition.
5th anniversary, yeah.
Not the competition that we did for the open enrollment. The top agents, we went out on a trip with their families. So everybody came with their family. We rented a cabin in Tennessee, and they brought their kids and their dogs. And so just gathering and not just doing business together, but also knowing each other makes that.
I think too much of business sometimes becomes transactional. Like, I win, you lose. It becomes like this, like I take from you, you get from me, whatever it is. I think long-term business, the business I want to be part of, it's what we've been trying to build here at Integrity, is this: let's all get together, focus on core values, and rising tide will raise all boats. I mean, truly, if we all come together, we can all do better together. I love the fact that you tie in your family. We love that here at Integrity. Now, speaking of family, you guys, we've mentioned you have 3 kids. Tell us about what your kids are doing these days.
Yeah, so I have a 24-year-old. She lives in New York. She's following her. So she's in the makeup industry. She's in New York. I have a 14-year-old boy and an 8-year-old boy.
Wow. So, what are the 14-year-old and 8-year-old doing these days?
The 14-year-old, he loves football. He plays football.
Yeah.
Like flag football? Or tackle.
JV.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
That's his passion. That's what he wants to do. And, it's kind
of
scary.
What position is he?
Yeah, he's center.
He's center.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's a little scary, but it's okay. It's his dreams.
Yeah. Whenever she goes to the games, he's like, "Oh wow, they just tackle him."
Oh, that's awesome. He's hitting people. He's not getting tackled. He's hitting people. What? How did you said something about how you guys met? How did you guys meet? So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, tell us that.
That's a story.
That's funny.
So we met in a concert, and the funny part was that someone that I knew there just went and grabbed him and say she want to dance with you. And she brought him towards me.
Can the boy dance?
They didn't know each other.
Can he dance?
He can, but I didn't dance.
Oh!
I was upset the fact that she went and grabbed him. Because I was like, he's gonna think that I told her to go and do it.
Did you?
And I did not. So she went and grabbed him. They didn't know each other.
So she didn't want to dance.
So you didn't even know that girl?
No.
I didn't even know that girl.
She
She just grabbed
like,
me and hey, she wants to dance.
Yes.
And she was so embarrassed because she didn't do that. But then I like, hey, this is my opportunity. Let's just see what happens. And then we stayed talking
the whole night.
And then just towards the end of the concert, she did agree to a dance. So at least I got a dance.
You got it.
So it was a God thing, really.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, because I was not supposed to be there. Back then, I worked customer service for a carrier, and I was supposed to work until 2 a.m. So I was not even supposed to be at that concert. But my older sister, kept insisting, "Hey, we gotta go to this concert. Try to get out early." So they gave me the time to get out early, and so I was not supposed to be in that concert.
I was not supposed to be there neither.
And
wow.
She had all the stuff, and then somehow she got into the concert. So, yeah, we believe it was a God thing.
That is awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, what a special family you guys are. What advice do you have for people coming up in this industry and really like, because you've kind of been you drug her into this business, right? I mean, you convinced her to join this business. What advice? I personally am really biased. I think this is the greatest business in the world. You get to serve people. It's a noble profession, and I think that there's more people that need us than we have people to go out and serve them with. I mean, we need more people into this business. I also believe the American dream is unlike anything else. So what advice would you say to the next generation coming up?
Yeah, so for me, this is the best business in the world because we get to help people, and while we help, we're also changing our lifestyles. Yeah. And Maria didn't want to know anything about this business. For her, like, I went to work and then I came back and then it was some computer work, and she said, "Oh, what you do is boring." But then she was a cosmetologist since I met her. And then on Saturdays, that's her toughest day because she has to work at the salon all day. So I kept saying to her that she needs to get into the business to help me because I already getting referrals ins and outs, and we didn't have an agent, so we were just a couple back then. And I needed help. Like, man, I cannot handle the overload. Man, I used to get out of the house at 7 a.m. and come back like at 8 because of so many appointments. So I was going fast, and I was looking for some help, and I wanted her to be that help. So one Saturday, she was so tired of working all those hours, and
he asked me the magic word, "How much do you make today?" And I was so proud. Yeah. I'm like, "I make this much." Yeah. And then he's like, "I made more than you, and I've been home since 12 o'clock.
Yeah, it was a Saturday.
Playing with the kids.
Yeah, playing with the kids, video games, watching some movies, having a good time with the kids." And she's like, "That's not fair." and he's like, "Well, I've been telling you to get into the business." Yes. And then she made the decision there to take the exam.
He kept insisting me of, "You should work smart, not hard," because I was working very hard. And that was when I paid attention. I'm like, okay, it looks boring, but show me.
And then she got the license like in 2 weeks, and I was like, yes, finally, because I didn't even know she was gonna get it, right? But she got it, and it was amazing. So, and the other advice is, Brian, you don't have to know everything. So she didn't know nothing about the business, but I told her, okay, let's run some appointments together. And she ran some appointments with me, and then what happened?
Yeah, so that's how I started, because I'm more of a hands-on. Yeah. So I'm like, show me, what is this business about? So I went to his appointments, and right there and there, I was like, okay, this is not boring. This is not just admin work. Yeah. This is helping people, which is what I love. I can do this. And then I was like, show me what's the first step. Second, what do I have to learn? So I believe that everyone can really do this business if they have the right intention. Yeah. If they have serving in their heart, if they want to do hard work, because it takes work to make it happen. Sure does. And also someone that cares enough to help those customers make the right decisions into their products.
Yeah, and that's such an important part. And I love what you guys have been doing. Like we talked about, you're even providing training in both English and Spanish. And what you guys have been able to do is really take your knowledge and expertise and really help more agents get into this business with the right heart of going out and serving more people. So I love that. I've loved being with you guys and love hearing your story. I want to give your mom a hug. I'd love to spend some time with her, hearing about what that was like going through that. So you got to write that book, because I will definitely read it. Thank you guys for joining Integrity. We're humbled by having amazing people like you want to be part of this with integrity and being able to serve even more people. So I can't wait to see where we go in the future and how we can serve even more people. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
Really appreciate it. So much. You guys are a blessing. I hope you guys have been as inspired as I have been. I know you also want to hear more about Mom's journey from Dominican Republic to Puerto Rico. Maybe your mom can come on and inspire podcast.
Oh my God,
bro, that would be amazing. Let's make that happen. But man, there's so many inspirational stories, and I think it all comes back to how we serve people. And we talk about this all the time. We're a service business, and there's not a limit to how many people we can serve. And I think if we can always focus on that, there's so much opportunity ahead, and they need us more than ever. So it's an incredible part of what we're able to be part of here at Integrity, And I really appreciate you guys all joining today's Inspire podcast to be inspired by this incredible couple. And I can't wait to see where we go from here. So thanks again for everybody. God bless you, and we'll talk to you very soon. Take care.